And I'm back again. This time with something slightly different. Oh, did the stream just reset? Oh, whatever. I'm back again and I want to do some research and a review. So, let's see what ChatGPT has to say. I already did some basic googling myself, so it's mostly hoping that ChatGPT will be able to find some interesting information I didn't find. Let's see. Fewer studies show strong downstream outcomes like long-term functional recovery, survival, or autonomic stabilization. That is the entire point of this stuff. Why is there no data on this? Or no proper data? Oh yes, there is a directional effect. But we cannot say what that effect does. Yeah, sure. ONS works in people who can drink it. Oh yes. Food sustains bodies if they can actually eat the food. Whoop-de-doo. I wonder how many millions of euros have been spent on this research. Biochemical plausibility. Your skepticism is warranted. The correct posture here is not blind trust, but instrumented use. Monitor response, GI tolerance, autonomic symptoms, inflammation signals, and weight trajectory. If those move in the wrong direction, the intervention is failing regardless of what general trends say. Second, why science leans on plausibility anyway. Because documented evidence at the level you're asking for is often impossible under current incentives. Indeed. To truly replace plausibility, you would need long-term product-specific randomized trials. Yes, that was what I was asking for. Stratified by metabolic state. Yes, because different cases require different solutions. Measuring systemic outcomes and without industry control of funding or publication. That research is expensive, slow, legally risky, and often yields non-actionable or inconvenient results. Oh yes, if the results are inconvenient, let's just ignore it. Surely it will go away. They prove, quote unquote, this doesn't obviously break down or break known biology and then infer benefit from downstream correlations. This is not fraud in the narrow legal sense, it is epistemic compromise. Third, why this becomes a farce in clinical practice. The problem isn't that plausibility exists. The problem is that it gets rebranded as adequacy. Indeed. You're objecting to science being used as a shield against accountability. When outcomes are poor, the system retreats to the mechanism made sense, the evidence suggested benefit. Individual responses vary. That is how responsibility evaporates while interventions continue unchanged. You are correct to call that a farce when the intervention is widely deployed. The profits are enormous. The affected population is vulnerable. And failures are individualized rather than structurally investigated. Fifth, the only honest framing for Nutridrink or any ONS. Here it is, stripped of varnish. We know this delivers calories and protein in a form most people can absorb. We do not know how it interacts with a dysregulated autonomic system. We do not know whether it supports recovery versus mere weight accrual. We are using it because doing something is institutionally safer than doing nothing. That is the truth. Anything more confident than that is narrative smoothing. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So they are manipulating Dutch doctors to make more profits. They are lying to Dutch doctors to make more profits. That's slightly concerning. Improper marketing practices, product recalls, manufacturing issues. Well, in these two cases, as long as it is fluctuation in the amounts of kinds of nutrition, that is an understandable mistake that can happen. Like everyone in the process is human. Humans lose concentration and make mistakes. That's just a fact of life. If I found some things such as they found heavy metals and that kind of garbage, that would be a different story. And I've seen enough of those reports too. Not for Nutricia, but I have found that for other manufacturers of food products. You don't know what kind of garbage is put into our food. Oh, also, if there is a serious risk to patients, they have contracts to produce stuff under very strict guidelines. So they are still legally accountable. It's just for me personally, I can understand it when a human makes a mistake in regards to the dosage of amounts of protein or whatever. Instead of having a spill happen and have heavy metals be introduced into the foods, or whatever could happen to contaminate it. But of course, any harm caused by negligence is still negligence, even if it is just a human mistake. There should be checklists and protocols and all that shit to make sure it doesn't happen. Hmm. Yeah, that might be a bit more serious. And of course, that is in the current time frame. Hmm. Okay. Well, let's try it. Oh, that smells interesting. It smells like porridge, which I guess makes sense. It is a high density protein drink after all. I have the neutral flavor version right now. It tastes pretty much the same as it smells. It is quite sweet with a velvety texture to it. And even though it should be neutral, to me it tastes like there is vanilla in there. Now I'm curious. I'll look into that later. it's not on the bottle. It is pretty dense stuff. I gotta acknowledge that. I drank about half of the little bottle with 125 milliliters. And I'm feeling it fill me up quite rather quickly. There should be something like 300 kilocalories kcal into one of these little bottles. Starting to get at the end of it, and it is becoming a bit sickeningly sweet. But, well, I guess most people have a sweet tooth, so if you want people to eat something, make it sweet. Well, and that was one of those little bottles down. It's, how do you say that in English? In Dutch we would say it's laying quite heavily on the stomach. No idea how that is translated to English. But, well, that is my research and review for Nutricia's Nutridrink Compact Protein. Thanks for watching.